We're here at Premcar in Epping, which is just north of Melbourne, to take a look at the new Nissan Navara N-Trek Warrior. This is Nissan's high-end entry that goes up against cars like the Toyota HiLux Rugged X and HSV SportsCat. And we've got Quinn, who's the head of engineering at Premcar, to talk us through some of the biggest changes because they've all been developed here.
Yeah, it's a really exciting product for us. You hit the nail on the head. They've been developed in Australia for Australian consumers, for the Australian market, and so we're really excited about what we've done.
So it looks different to a normal Navara for starters, but there's a lot going on under the skin. So
Correct.
What are some of the biggest changes to the suspension?
So we've increased the presence of the vehicle via these aesthetic components like the metal bull bar or safari bar, and the increase in track width via a unique wheel and tyre. But more importantly, we've given that off-road tough truck look some real credibility by doing a complete suspension retune. So new springs, new dampers, new secondary rate springs. It really is a kind of a re-engineered package.
So this has 40mm more ground clearance than a normal N-Trek?
Correct, yeah. So 15mm in the suspension lift and 25mm in the tyre.
Okay.
Total 40mm.
They're also smaller wheels than standard, aren't they?
Yes, it's a 17-inch wheel rather than the 18 that's on the STX Navara.
Yep.
Gives it that kind of more capability because it's an all-terrain tyre that's got a much sort of baggier sidewall, and it gives a lot of benefits. I mean, the 17-inch wheel really brings a lot of capability to the car.
So suspension is new. There's more underbody strengthening as well?
Yep, correct. So new suspension, we've got some real heavy-duty underbody protection here, but and better approach and departure angles as well. It's all about the off-road capability, but it looks great too.
So the suspension is taller,
yep,
but you've done some pretty clever stuff with the dampers as well, and it should be very capable off-road.
Yeah, so fundamentally the principle is, we wanted to keep the cabin calm. So if you imagine the vehicle travelling over rough terrain, the wheels are going crazy underneath with some pretty frenetic activity, but the passenger cell itself is kept calm and serene, and that's exactly what we were going for. So that means actually softer initial spring rates, but stiffer secondary spring rate.
Right.
And it means a lot of work in the damping to improve the control over large impacts and oscillations.
And then in the cabin, there's obviously some changes as well compared to the normal Navara.
Yeah, so we've got some unique embroidery and colouring and stitching and that sort of thing. It comes with a lot of content from the N-Trek base car.
Yep.
So there is a lot of, and there's Apple CarPlay and a lot of extra new content, and we've just taken that up another notch with some unique features as well.
So I know this has the same towing capacity as the regular Navara and a slightly lower payload, but is this designed to be more of an off-road truck, or could you still drive it daily, for example?
This is, I think, the key and the benefit of what we've done. So Nissan as a customer and us as a credible engineering house, we didn't want any compromise for any other attribute. And in fact, the off-road capability has definitely gone up a notch. But we've been through a lot of development work with the damping and the suspension and addition of unique componentry. We've been able to, at the very least, maintain the attributes from the standard Navara, but in almost every case, we've increased the steering response, for example. We've increased the ride comfort. We've made it much more stable in towing and with a load in the back. So I feel very confident that we've generally given everything a boost up, and it's a fantastic car to drive. Standard car's great too. Don't get me wrong. This thing's new level.
So the cars are supplied by Nissan in Thailand, but you guys have a facility here in Epping to actually convert them. How many are you going to be building?
So we're building 10 a day is what we're targeting at the moment. We're not limiting it to anything else apart from that at the moment. So 10 per day. We can bump that up because we've made the production line sort of modular, so we can add more operators to increase the volume output up to, let's say, 12, 13, whatever the market demands. As time goes on, as people are seeing it, as people are driving it, I'm getting more confident that we'll need to bump up the production capacity.
Okay. So Nissan hasn't actually told us what this is going to cost yet. They've just said that it's going to be competitive with the Toyota HiLux Rugged X and Ford Ranger Raptor. Yep. You won't tell me either, which is a little bit annoying, but for more on how the car drives, make sure you head to caradvice.com, because our very own Sam Purcell has driven a suspension test unit and he came away pretty impressed from what we've seen. Bernie, thank you very much for your time.
No worries, thanks very much, cheers.